Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to another Magic Arena Explorer video. So today we are playing a little bit of Boros Burn, so we are finally getting around to playing Lightning Helix in Explorer. So this is a new card to the format from Murders at Karlov Manor. Obviously it is a reprint from the original Ravnica, so first time in these formats. It's a very simple card, red-white for a instant that says it deals 3 damage to any target and you gain 3 life. So it's essentially Lightning Bolt and Healing Salve, those two famous cards from early Magic basically bolted together, but it's incredibly powerful to that kind of do 3 damage to any target and then just kind of get that extra bit of life gain to help you kind of keep going through the opponent and kind of win the game. And we are also running the new Fugitive Codebreaker, so this is a interesting new card. So this is 2/1 for 2 with prowess and haste, so decent enough, although kind of compares a little unfavourably to Monastery Swiftspear being 2 mana, but crucially it does have Disguise, so you can play it as a 2/2 for 3 in the same way that you can with a Morph creature, and then turn it face up later. So this has a to turn it face up cost of 5 and a red, but is reduced by 1 for each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard, and obviously being Boros Burn, we will have a fair few of those, and when it is turned face up you discard your hand and draw 3 cards, so that will help us kind of just keep the cards coming into our hand and hopefully keep the fuel going to burn the opponent out. And then we have a very kind of familiar mono red burn that kind of sits around it. The only white card in the main deck is Lightning Helix. Now, because this is Explorer, not Pioneer, we don't have Boros Charm, which is a very handy addition to Boros Burn. It's a burn spell that deals 4 damage to an opponent for 2 mana. So we are playing a slightly weaker version of Burn, so we'll have to bear that in mind. But in terms of the rest of the cards, we have Kamano faces Kakazan, very, very good 1-drop, dealing 1 damage to the opponent straight away, giving us a +1/+1 counter on the next creature we cast on Chapter 2, and then turning into a 2/2 haste creature on Chapter 3. Then our four Monastery Swiftspears and our 4 Soulscar Mages make up our 1 mana prowess creatures, and then a burn spell at 1 mana is Play with Fire, so good with dealing with small creatures, but also if we aim at the opponent's face, we do get some incremental scry value as well. Then, as well as our new cards, we've got 4 copies of Lightning Strike, so 3 damage to any target for 2 mana, pretty good. And then Searing Blood as well, as a bit more of a speculative one. So this deals 2 damage to target creature, and if that creature dies this turn, it deals 3 damage to that creature's controller. So this will be very good in certain matchups and pretty dead in others. So kind of it's our first port of call for either sideboarding in more copies or sideboarding out. And then our 3-drops, well, Bone Crusher Giant, technically a 2-drop and a 3-drop, obviously, with its Stomp ability. 3 copies of Skewer the Critics, just a very good burn spell that will often cost 1 mana, and then Slaying Fire as well, which is a 3 damage burn spell, but if we cast it entirely with red mana, which we can do with all of our lands, then it deals 4 damage instead. And then going to our lands, we obviously have a few dual lands, not a huge number, just because we don't have that many white spells, and then 4 Ramunap Ruins and 6 Mountains, just to help us. Do you know what? I think we need a Den of the Bugbear in here. I think we can have a couple of Den of the Bugbears as well. I'm just going to make that change. Remove a couple of our mountains. Then in the sideboard, we've got 3 Rending Volleys to deal with blue and white creatures. We've got Grafdigger's Cage, a couple of Get Lost. So this is for dealing with things that we can't really deal with otherwise with direct damage. So think Shieldred, very difficult to deal with. Roiling Vortex. So this both pings both players at the beginning of their upkeep, but this is good if the opponent's trying to cast spells without paying any mana. So if you think about those kind of Discover combos in the format, then this is a very good way of dealing with those. Searing Blood, 2 more copies of that. Then we've got 2 copies of Deflecting Palm, so this is the next time a source of your choice would deal damage to you this turn, prevent that damage, and then it deals that much damage to that source's controller, so this is very good in aggro mirrors if the opponent's trying to kind of finish you off with 1 big hit, then Deflecting Palm can be a very good way of dealing with that. And then finally 2 copies of Rampaging Frostodon, not only a difficult creature for the opponent to block, 3/3 with Menace, but it stops the opponent from gaining life, which will, any opponent who's looking to gain a huge amount of life, playing Angels or whatever, this will be a problem for a Boros Burn deck. So Rampaging Frostodon helps deal with that, and also has the incremental advantage that it deals 1 damage to the creature's controller whenever a creature enters the battlefield. So that is Boros Bird. Let's see how it can do with now Lightning Helix added and without Boros Charm. So it's kind of 6 of one, half a dozen of the other here. So let's have a look and see how this goes on. Thank you very much for watching. Hit those like and subscribe buttons as always. Thank you for the support. Plenty more Murders at Karlov Manor decks to come. And yeah, let's go on to the ladder. Oh no, it's the draw and we're playing Burn. This is an okay hand. Codebreaker is really... Codebreaker is very expensive to kind of both disguise and then flip, so it's something you really want to be doing if you draw it in the late game, so we may well just play that as it is. Looks like the opponent's on a Gates deck, which we are seeing more of, actually, interestingly. So yeah, let's just put Codebreaker into play as a creature now. Interesting. Okay, well, let's play Kamano faces Kakazan. Skewer the critics on their Arboreal Grazer. Ooh. That's not one you see hugely often. Okay, they're going to try and Maze's End as quickly as possible. That's a good draw. No, I'm kind of in the market for a land at the moment, I think. Them being able to play Spelunking is quite annoying. Oh no, they won't be able to, actually, so... we should be able to kill them here, I think. So if we Lightning Helix their Arboreal Grazer... that should do it. Okay, Gates. Gates, Gates, Gates. Gates. Get Lost. Rampaging Frostodon. Let's trim Searing Blood. And a couple of Slaying Fires, I think. Yep, that will do. Ooh, this isn't very good. Better. So let's just keep one of our code breakers here. This probably isn't going to be a very good showcase for going wide with Codebreaker, just because you kind of need to kill the opponent quite quickly in this matchup. Okay, let's just keep the hits coming. So we're a bit vulnerable to Gates Ablaze here. Yeah, Hydroid Crisis, okay. Doesn't bother me too much, I have to say, because I think we can kill them pretty much straight away here. Yep. Okay, that was a fairly emphatic first game. Okay, we're back on the draw. This is a... this doesn't... so we're on the draw. They're playing Gigantha. This is on the edge of keepable, this one. It looks like they're playing vehicles as well, which will probably be quite a tough matchup for this deck. Yep. Down comes the Looter Scooter. Oh dear. This will be quite short, I think. Yeah, should have mulliganed. Oh well, coulda, woulda, shoulda. Chariot in the bin. How I worry that means they have another chariot. Yeah, let's move on from this one. Yeah, should have mulliganed. Okay, so Searing Blood is quite good in this matchup. So is Deflecting Palm. I think that will probably do. Slaying Fire will probably need for Chariot. Maybe Bone Crusher. Bone Crusher Giant can tangle with Chariot, actually, so maybe we should keep that in and just take out Lightning Strike. Kind of sits in the middle of useful. Sigh. Okay, this will do for now. Well, let's play with fire that away, I think. Because it also means they don't really have any decent... they can't crew Smuggler's Copter if they play it, so... Let's have a Codebreaker. Ah, interesting. So they're a bit short on land, so let's hit them with Play with Fire, get rid of that, hit them with Skewer the Critics. Now we just need to do them 2 more damage, which should be fairly straightforward, he says. Yep, that'll do it. Okay, so a couple of sort of nothing games there. just because of the both players having quite bad hands, short of land, so we'll switch in a couple of Get Lost for take out a couple of Commandos, just because I think Get Lost, we may need it to get through things like Lovestruck Beast. Yeah, I'm not making that mistake again. Yeah, this is better, so let's pop back. Let's pop back Skewer the Critics for now. No turn 1 Mana Elf is good news. Sure thing. Okay, well, let's just pop Kumano Faces Kakazan into play here. Then we can always play with fire the opponent at end of turn. No, we'll kill that instead. Let's take down the elf. Play a Codebreaker. So they're looking short of land again. We might need the card draw here. Fine. Bit of a nothing match, that one. It happens. Okay, we're on the draw again, although it's not hurting us so much at the moment. Looks like a Phoenix deck to me. Yeah, possibly not. No, okay. So, they have their own Eidolon. So let's just get Soulscar Mage into play here. Take that out. So we're doing pretty well to still be on 17 life here. The opponent's down to 9. So this is pretty favourable. Yep. Okay, so Searing Blood in the mirror match, as well as Deflecting Palm. I think I'll take out Codebreaker here and one Slaying Fire, just because Codebreaker is a bit weak when playing against another burn deck. A 2-1 is not really where it's at. If it gets killed by Goblin Chainwhirler, you just want to leave the country. It's a very painful hand, but it's not actually a bad one, so... That is the danger of running so many Ramanap ruins. Leyline of Combustion. Ah, fun. Whenever you or at least one becomes the target of spell or ability. Huh. You don't see that hugely often. They've got their own searing blood. Okay, well I'll go to 12. I'll play Bone Crusher Giants. And I'll hope not to die. Okay, well, that is going to have to die, sadly. So I'll go to 10. Then I'll go to 8 to get the opponent to 13. Okay, it's looking a little dicey here. Okay, double land I can live with. Ugh. Ew, that's not very good. So, let's put in Get Lost. And we will need the other Slaying Fire if they're playing Torbran. We'll take out Deflecting Palm on the play, and also one Lightning Strike. That's an interesting version of Mono Red that they're playing. Quite different to ours. We are not, but yeah, we're not running light up the stage, which may or may not be a mistake. Oh, this is not a good hand because we have no creatures. So I think we're going to go to 5. This is better. So let's get rid of land and Slaying Fire. That's fine. So we'll kill that. Hopefully we'll draw a land to play Bone Crusher Giant or another creature. Okay. Well, I'm going to have to Lightning Heat. Well, no, I'll just stomp that. Swift Spear, sure. Okay, Lightning Helix is going to have to do some work for us in this game. Now let's skewer their Swift Spear. Okay, we're doing a reasonable job of keeping them under control. That's going to be more of a challenge. I think I'm going to have to... trade quite aggressively here. Hopefully they'll just activate Den of the Bugbear. Yep. Good, good. So let's Helix that away. It's good for our life total anyway. Ooh, this lack of land is really punishing here. Yep. Okay, well, let's kill their Frostodon. I mean, we are actually winning this race at the moment, but they draw one difficult burn spell and we're out of it, so... Yeah, I think that kills us. Yes, it does. Yep. One land there and would have been fine, but didn't get it. Annoying. Good God, we're actually on the play. Oh. It is really sad when you get a hand with no creatures, but this is probably too good to say no to. Just hit the opponent with a Play with Fire. Don't think we need another Searing Blood. Take down their Stalactite Stalker. Two hives, so this could be mono black. Yeah, that's okay. Hopefully the Searing Blood can find a decent target. So they're on a sort of proper discard style deck, are they? No, fair enough. Golgari as well. Okay, that's fun. The cruelty of gigs. Well, we are finding some interesting variants on things which are happening here. Yeah, they could just steal my Bone Crusher Giant here, which is pretty unideal, to be honest. Right, so we need Get Lost because they're running Shieldred. More Searing Bloods is good. Bone Crusher Giant. Not so good here, I don't think. Not against an opponent running Edict. Again, no actual creatures, but not so bad that we can give it up, so... Not getting any value off the Kamado would be sad. But that's what's going to happen to us, so... Guess we'll learn to live with it. Oh, interesting. Okay, that's quite an aggressive use of a Boseiju, to be honest. So let's grab a mountain. Let's pass the turn. We've got a heck of a lot of damage in our hands here. So let's hit them with a Slaying Fire. Swift Spear. Okay. Well, I'll keep it coming. Hopefully, they might just play Shieldred here. No, Tenacious Underdog's fine. So let's Searing Blood one of those away. Let's Lightning Strike the other. So we got 6 damage in our hand. That's a decent draw. Now there's quite a few things that are lethal here. So if we Helix at the end of turn, then we have Ramanap Ruins if we draw a land, a haste creature. Yeah, there's some stuff going on here. Okay, what the heck does this do? You gain 3 life for each time it was kicked. Whenever... Okay. Whenever one or more creatures deal, you may reveal the... Okay, fine. Okay, that is not brilliant, but let's... Well, I don't actually care about that, to be honest, so let's just pass the turn. Fine. Ready. Get rid of that. Searing Blood may be good at some point. See if my etching survives. It did. Ooh. That feels dangerous, to say the least. Okay. What are they going to get? Preacher of the Schism again. So I think I can kill them here by playing Searing Blood and then get lost. Then hitting them with a Helix. Okay, very good. Now we're going to be on the draw. Not sure I want anything different, though. It all comes down to this. The final game. Yeah, good enough. It is not the best hand I've ever seen, but it will do. Potentially interested in playing Codebreaker as a disguised creature here. Let's do it. No, they may just have Edict, in which case it doesn't matter, but... Nope. Proving Ground is fine. Long Goodbye is a fun new card. Again, I've got a heck of a lot of burn in my hand. Sir Ginger the Beerlender. That's fun. This is a random collection of cards our opponent's playing. I kind of dig it. I don't know what it is, but I dig it. Well, they're kind of just running mono removal here, but it's okay. So let's Slaying Fire them. Add an Ant. I think I kind of have to give it a go here, because if this Den of the Bugbear does anything, then we're in pretty good shape, but looks like they're going to kill it. Yep, just more fatal pushes. Ooh, the cruelty of Gix. Well, I've got nothing in my hand for you. Okay. Pass the turn again. So I've currently got 9 damage presenting. And they're about to go to 10. And Shieldred will just die. Or maybe it won't, depending on. Let's see what they get rid of here. Either way, they're going to 8. Okay, that is A-OK by me. So let's get lost. And they're dead. Ah! Yes! Oof. Oh, I'm very pleased with that. That was very satisfying. Good grindy match, but the lack of creatures was a problem, but the burn got through in the end. And we have a pack to open as well. Everything's coming up button. Yeah, I must try Lazov in something at some point. Yeah, if you've seen any deck lists with the new Lazav in it, let me know. In the meantime, we'll take one last look at the deck list. Boros Burn still feels a little underpowered. You could probably play with a few variants of this. We never did really get to make the most of Codebreaker. The games just weren't grindy enough, mostly, but maybe that one's not so good, and you could put back in Light Up the Stage as just kind of that similar card draw effect. You know, there are versions which maybe run Eidolon instead of Lightning Strike or Searing Blood. There's plenty you could do with this, I think, but it's still missing Boros Charm, I think, and maybe a little bit more to just power it up. But it was fun. We did go in 3-1, which is not bad. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. Hit those like and subscribe buttons. See you next time.